Thank you very much, Mr. President. Uh, Let me just begin by recalling a man that I knew and who became my friend uh, when I first went to Camp Darapanan in 2008. He welcomed me there along with other compatriots in the camp of the MILF. And we talked in private along with the whole MILF cabinet at the time. And there's a picture of us there. Uh, and he asked me if I was going to vote for the Bangsamoro establishment. And I was frank enough to say, no, I cannot vote for it because I thought there were constitutional constraints at the time. And I remember what he told me. He said, Senator, he said, there has been so much blood and treasure that has been spent here. And I'm afraid if we do not get the peace, there will be more blood and treasure that will happen. I've never forgotten that. It's one of the most important facets of my life, at least so far as our countrymen in Mindanao are concerned. Napakahalaga po nung moment na yun na talagang nakita ko ang sinseridad nitong tao na ang pangalan ay Jaafar Ghadzali. And we were met there and we broke bread as in the Muslim tradition of hospitality. But he also introduced me to the mass base of women, young people in that meeting. And at that meeting, I knew that we had to have the peace. There was a sincere desire. Gusto na nila talaga magkaroon ng kapayapaan at gusto rin natin magkaroon ng kapayapaan. Hindi yung mauna ako sa kapayapaan. Kailangan magkaroon tayo ng kapayapaan. And so today, as we talk about, I don't think it was half a century. I'm not trying to correct Senator Tolentino. I think he meant more than 7 decades na itong bakbakan dyan na hindi natatapos. Let me just point out that there have been 100,000 to 151,000 people estimated to have died in the conflict. Many young Mindanaoans, I don't want to call them Muslims or Christians, Mindanaoans, Filipinos first, and Mindanaoans second. Filipinos first before we're Muslim or Christian have died, Mr. President. There have been so many initiatives that have fallen by the wayside. Hindi natutuloy, nauudlot. Kaya nung ginawa ito na Senator Subiri, as you know, we're pretty close to one another and I wholeheartedly supported him. I said, I don't need to interpolate because I believe in this cause. Kung na natin masyadong kulitin, kailangan maumpisahan. As we all know, the journey of 1,000 steps, quoting, I think it was Chairman Mao, and I have no better way to quote it, always begins with the first step. And the first step has been achieved. Mr. President, wala akong talagang nakikita na talagang mangyayari kaagad dyan kundi natin tutulungan ang mga kapwa natin mga Pilipino dito sa lugar ng BARMM. At nung ako yung pinapitan uli, na makita kami doon sa Malacanang at it was one of my greatest pictures that I would always keep in my life. He was already on a wheelchair at the time. And yung unang picture kami lang dalawa tapos sumama si Hashim Salamat, I think it was Hashim Salamat if I'm not mistaken. And then a lot of us also, Murad, Chief Minister Alaj Murad. And tatlo muna kami. And later on, everybody joined us. And you can see he was already in a wheelchair. Nung matapos ho yan, tuwan-tuwa kami dalawa at sabi natin, that was in August of 2008 when we first met at marami na tayong narating. At talagang pinaghirapan at dumaan sa maliit na butas ng karayom itong batas na itong ginawa natin. And I have nothing but prayers na mag-succeed ito. And I could see in his eyes. At talagang minimithi talaga ni Jaafar Ghadzali. He was the personification to me of the insatiable desire, the love for our country that we would have peace, and that we could be a model of Christian Muslim or Muslim Christian, brotherhood and peace. So, Mr. President, marami nang nasabi si Senator Angara, and I agree with them. Pwede natin sabihin kung anong mali, kung anong ayaw natin. And I respect lahat kayo, sila Senator Marcos, na mayroon kayong mga maaaring concerns. But I think we cannot stop the movement. And that's why, alam ko, everybody will have the patience to make sure that the peace is attained. And so today, peace and security are unattainable, Mr. President, until unity is finally established. When I saw Ghafar Ghadzali that day, I wheeled him all the way down to his car. I pushed the wheelchair, and I knew his days were numbered. I hate to say that word, but I thought I made a solemn promise to myself that we must make the peace work. Call it emotional, call it passion, and I'll call it compassion for those who have died. I want to call it the search for peace must be filled not only with passion but also compassion. And that if we do not love one another and the peace is lost, walang mangyayari na naman sa atin. Just like the Taliban were driven out and now the Taliban is back in Afghanistan and everybody is discombobulated by the events that are happening. And so today I ask for and I vote for unity of our country. 2 million people have been displaced. Young people have lost their future. And it's important right now that we convert yung mga baril na kinukuha pa natin na dapat maibalik para magkaroon ng kapayapaan at dinig talaga yung security forces na kailangan na talagang lahat tayo under the Philippine government na talagang magagawa natin yung dapat natin gawin, yung mga kailangan gawin sa Mindanao. Kailangan suportahan natin. And that is why I vote. That picture is a picture I would always keep and show my grandchildren that if we are all committed to peace, we can have unity in this country. And if we have unity and peace, we can probably prove to the whole world that we can handle the peace and that we can provide the blessings of peace, essentially in Mindanao and to our entire country. We can provide those blessings of peace so that we finally attain respect that is born out of our respect for our brothers in Mindanao and the respect that we need from the whole world. The whole world, ang daming hatian. Ang daming nagkakabiyak-biyak ang mundo dito sa tinatawag natin parang may crusades, parang may caliphate. Those are, without casting aspersion on those people, those are ambitions of people who have nothing better to do than seek power. It is not might that creates power. It is when you use might and when you use power for right that we make the peace, Mr. President. So today, bumaboto po ako doon. Hindi ko natitignan kung ano pa sasabihin dyan. Ako unang-una nag-author dyan, hindi ako kumuha ng paternity because dahil kay Ghafar Ghadzali. And so in voting for this on third reading, I think right away of the face. And you've got to have a face. And that face, in my mind alone, I don't ask you to have that face as well, is that of Ghafar Ghadzali when he told me we have lost a lot of treasure and blood and ayoko nang dadaanan pa ang dugo sapagkat panahon na para magkaroon tayo ng kapayapaan as brothers and sisters in our country. For those reasons, Mr. President, without any hesitation, I vote for the peace. I vote to give everybody the time that they need para sa ganon, mabuo na ito at wala ng rason. And I vote to make sure na mabilisan. It behooves the national government now to make sure na yung kakulangan ay mapunuan. And it behooves also our brothers in Mindanao to make sure na mabilisan nila ang kailangan gawin Talagang parang pinapasan natin katulad nung araw na nagbabayanihan ng tao para buhatin ang bahay ng isang kapitbahay na lilipat. Katulad ng isang Muslim na nagbabakbakan doon, imam na nagbabakbakan doon sa kauswagan. Na nakita ko sa television, tinago niya yung mga Kristiyano. At nung pumunta ako kaagad-agad doon sa Lanao, hinanap ko siya at nakita ko siya, nakamotorsiklo siya, at tuwan-tuwa ako nung makita ko siya. Lahat sila, hinahangad ng gusto ang kapayapaan. At yan siya. Ang tanongin ko kung nasa naroon na si Imam Alanoding Sarip, who hid Christian families in his mosque during the Columbugan Massacre. Nandun na siya sa ibang lugar, sa norte ng Pilipinas. Wala na siya sa Mindanao. Nagpunta siya sa norte. Masakit sa isang taong to pick up stakes, iwanan ang kanyang sinilangan na bayan. But that's probably because hindi pa kompleto ang quest for peace. Tulungan po natin, tulungan ng gobyerno, tulungan natin lahat na magkaroon finally ng kapayapaan. Yung mga may alinlangan, santabi muna po natin yung alinlangan and let's all work together to bring the peace. Allahu Akbar, and thank you Allah for Ghadzali Jaafar. Thank you very much, Mr. President.